welcome. My name is Emily and I'm going to be teaching you some yoga for COVID today, or Yoga-19 if you will. This is a practice that doesn't necessarily require any blocks, props. If you would like to grab some, go ahead. Anything you want to use as a prop is fair game. If you want to grab some pillows for a little extra cushion, maybe a blanket or two, a towel, or if you have your own blocks, that would be great. But we're going to do a little bit of upper back work and shoulders today, just to kind of open up where we might be hunched over doing schoolwork or conference calls. We're going to straighten up that posture and hopefully stretch out and feel a little bit better through the upper body. So we're going to go ahead and get started in our nice comfortable seat. Adjust the sits bones, lay the hands wherever they want to fall. Maybe they're on the kneecaps, and start to let the eyes drift closed if that's comfortable for you. We're going to start to fixate on our bodies and our minds today. If there's anything giving you anxiety, any troubles, I know that's a very general statement in today's world, but we're going to leave all of that outside the door, off the mat. It's not going to distract us here today. Letting all of our troubles melt away from our shoulders, relaxing through that head and upper spine, letting the shoulders fall away from the ears, and starting to focus on our breath as we inhale, feeling our air fill our lungs. And as we exhale, the lungs deflate, the chest falls. Bringing awareness to our breath here, setting an intention for a practice that is a goal for us to be able to meet on our mat today. It can be anything you want it to be. Maybe it's to feel stronger, maybe it's to build some warmth, maybe it's just to get in your exercise for today. My hope for you is that by the end of this class, you'll feel a little bit more confident, maybe a little more warm, happy, healthy, and strong. So we're going to start with a nice general warm-up. We're going to start with that upper spine. So we're going to tilt the head towards one shoulder and then the other, really feeling that stretch through the back of the neck, these muscles here, and really letting that tension go. It's a place that builds a lot of stress. It holds the weight of our head, our shoulders, especially if we have bad posture. So we're just going to move through our range of motion here. Then we're going to tuck the chin towards the chest, really feeling length through that crown of the head, the spine, imagining there's a string pulling us upward, and then looking towards the ceiling, nice and gentle. We're going to start to mobilize our upper body, the shoulders, maybe move in circles with our shoulder blades, maybe go the other direction. Circle, sweep those arms up overhead as we inhale, really lifting through that chest, imagining we're holding a beach ball up over our head. As we exhale, bringing hands to cactus arms, we're going to pinch those shoulder blades together, opening up through the chest. This should feel really nice here. Inhale, exhale, reach back behind us. We're going to make tents with the fingers and really push up through that chest, looking towards the sky, pinching those shoulder blades together once again. As we exhale to release, we're going to hunch forward over our knees here. Rock side to side, start to feel some stretch through the lower back, the hip flexors, and the glutes. And then we're going to inhale, circle, sweep those arms up overhead once more. And as we exhale, we're going to reach as far forward as we can before our back starts to bend. And then we're going to let those hands drop onto the ground. Maybe we make tents with our fingers, rock side to side if we need to explore that range of motion here. And then we're going to walk those hands off to the left side of our knees and really reach to that right side body. We should be feeling a nice pull here. And then we're going to walk them over to the other side. Hands reach to the right side. Really feeling that pull through the left side body, the left hip, the lower spine. And then coming back through center, we're going to inhale back up. And then we're going to roll over our knees, coming into our tabletop position. We're going to stack the shoulders over elbows, elbows over wrists, and hips over knees. Then we're going to start to mobilize that spine as we inhale, sitting the belly nice and low, hips up to the sky, and gaze upward. As we exhale, we're going to round those shoulders in the upper spine, tuck the pelvis, maybe rock side to side for cat pose. And then we're going to match one breath, one movement at our own pace as we inhale and exhale, adding in any movements that feel good for us here. Maybe it's coming up onto the fingertips. Maybe it's wiggling through the spine. Whatever feels good for you. We're going to take 3 more breath cycles here, in and out. Nice and easy. One more breath. And then keeping those hips in the same position, we're gonna return to our nice neutral spine. We're gonna take our left arm underneath the right for thread the needle. We're gonna send this right arm forward and really relaxing onto the head and the shoulders. If we're laying onto that left shoulder blade, really feeling that stretch through the left shoulder, the upper back, and then just really relax into this pose. One more breath here. Inhaling back through center. We're going to take that right arm and do the same thing. So we're going to lay onto this right shoulder blade, threading it underneath the left arm and stretching forward with the left fingertips. One more breath. Inhaling back through center. We're going to try a few more poses to mobilize that spine. So we're going to keep the hips in the same position. We're going to reach forward with both arms this time for puppy pose. Maybe we let the forehead rest on the mat. We're going to hold this pose for 3 breath cycles. And then coming back through center. We're going to lay onto our bellies this time, and then we're going to put our forearms right underneath our chest for Sphinx pose. We're going to really stretch out through those fingertips, adjust the hips if we need to. This is a little baby back bend, starting to mobilize that lower spine in preparation for some of our poses later. You can push up as much as you want to. You can either grab a pillow or a bolster and put it right in front of your chest too if you'd like something to relax onto. And then we're just really going to focus on pushing that head away from the shoulders, really stretching through the crown of the head. And then exhaling to release. We're going to push back up to our tabletop position. And then we're going to tuck the toes and we're going to come into our first downward facing dog of the day. So we're going to send those hips up to the sky, spine nice and straight. And then maybe we're a little tight through the hamstrings or the calves today, but that's all right. We can alternate heels towards the floor. And then as we pedal out our downward facing dog, hopefully we should start feeling some length through those hamstrings, the calves. Pedal it out as much as you need to. And really lift the hips. If to keep a nice straight spine, you need to bend the knees just a little bit. Don't be afraid to do so. In fact, it's highly encouraged. And then as we get settled here, we're going to hop, skip, or jump, bringing those feet between those hands, coming to our first forward fold of the day. So we can grab a block, or maybe you have some other prop in mind here. If you have a cardboard box, you can actually do your forward fold there. So we're going to bring the hands to our box or block. We can even reach for the ground, cross the arms over the chest, however forward fold looks like for you, and start to rock side to side. We're building that space in the hamstrings. Give it a couple more breaths here. And then taking our block away if we had one, we're going to bring our hands to our shins, keeping a nice flat back. Halfway lift. Exhale to fold one more time. Hopefully we're feeling a little more length through our hamstrings here. Really reaching towards that ground. Maybe we'll walk it out side to side, experimenting with that stretch in the hamstrings. And as we inhale, we're going to circle sweep those arms up overhead, extended mountain. Hands to heart center. We're going to start the more active portion of our practice today. So we're going to find a little bit of stillness, a little bit of quiet before we begin there. We're going to bring those feet about hips distance apart, hands to heart center. Focusing once again on our intention from the beginning of class. If there was anything you felt you needed, using those physical poses as a way to meditate on what you need. We'll come back to it at the end of class, don't worry. Then we're going to inhale, circle sweep those arms up overhead. Then we're going to bring our hands together in pointer fingers and give ourselves a nice little mini back bend. Nothing too extreme, only to your level of comfort. And then coming back to center, cactus arms. Really opening up through that chest, Exaggerating the pinch in our shoulder blades. Hands to the sides. We're going to start our sun salutations. Hands to heart center. Circle sweep up overhead. Inhale. Exhale, fold. And we're going to plant those hands, stepping back in a plank. Maybe we take a modified plank here. If we want to bring the knees to the mat, that's okay too. And then we're going to keep those elbows nice and close into the body as we lower chaturanga. And then coming through to baby cobra, cobra pose, or maybe you want to do upward facing dog where the thighs are off the mat, that's okay too. And in cobra pose, we're going to keep those biceps away from the ears. And then we're going to lower chaturanga. One more time. Practicing our chaturanga pose, keeping those elbows nice and close into the body. Lower one more time. Sweeping up into our upward dog or cobra. This time we're going to tuck those toes, send the hips to the sky, downward facing dog. We're going to step forward with our left foot, bring it between the hands, runner's lunge. Maybe we hold that just for a moment here, and then stepping that right foot forward to meet it, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift, bring those hands to the shins, nice flat back, gazes at the ground. Exhale to fold. Inhale, circle sweep those arms up overhead, extended mountain. And exhale for our favorite pose, that is chair. We're going to check in with our feet and our knees, make sure if our knees are together, then our feet are together as well. If our knees are apart, then so are our feet. Hands to heart center or up above, whatever you prefer. And then we're going to make sure we tuck that pelvis under, making sure it's nice and straight, not too exaggerated in the lower back. Exhale to release, forward fold. We're going to try that cycle one more time. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale to fold, stepping back into our plank. Maybe we take modified plank here. Elbows nice and close into the body. Exhale, lower to the ground through chaturanga. Sweeping up, upward dog or cobra, your choice. Tucking those toes under, downward facing dog. This time we're going to step forward with our right foot between the hands. Runner's lunge. Left foot forward to meet the right. Forward fold. Inhale to halfway lift. Exhale, fold. Inhale, circle sweep those arms up overhead, extended mountain. Give ourselves a moment here if we need some air. Exhale, down and back into our chair. I know it's our favorite. Hands to heart center. Hold it just a little while longer. You can do it. One more breath. Exhale, release. Give ourselves just a moment to breathe here. Rock side to side if you need to. Then we're going to get into some work. So we're going to plant those hands, stepping back into our plank, and this time we're going to hold it nice and straight. Hopefully our abs are activating here. Maybe they haven't in a long time like me. Maybe you need a breath. We can come to the knees for a modified plank, or we can stay right here. Maybe, just maybe, you come onto the forearms instead. One more breath. Exhale, release, lower to the floor. Hands about the chest line. Shifting up, baby cobra. Exhale, release. Inhale, full cobra this time. Rock side to side if you need to. Tuck those toes under. Downward facing dog. This time we're going to set up for some warriors. So we're going to step that left foot forward between the hands. Runner's lunge. Drop that right knee down to the mat, untuck the toes. We're going to bring our hands to our knee to find some balance. Low lunge. When we're feeling ready, we're feeling comfortable, those hips are squeezing in to keep us balanced, we can tuck those right toes and rise up into a high lunge. Hands to heart center. Maybe we bump that back foot forward just a little bit. Maybe we turned it into a high crescent lunge, reaching up with those hands Imagining we're holding a beach ball over our head. And then maybe we pivot that back foot so that our left heel lines up with our right arch. We're gonna square those hips to the front. Maybe we use our hands to do that. And check in with our toes. Make sure we can see our left toes in front of our left knee. Rise up into warrior one. Sink just a little bit lower with that front leg. Hands to heart center. Starting to build some heat in those legs. Sink just a little bit lower. I know you can do it. And opening up into our warrior two. We're going to keep our arms nice and straight as if we're in a toaster oven. So we're going to keep ourselves in one plane of existence here. Rocking side to side if we need to feel that balance. We're keeping our feet in the same position they were in warrior one. And flipping that front palm, we're going to reverse our warrior, bringing our right hand to the back of our right thigh. Left arm reaches up overhead, building space in that side body. And reaching back through warrior two. We're going to try the same thing in reverse. Warrior one. And then our left arm can come down to the left knee. If you don't have a block or a prop that you're comfortable using, you can reach up with that right hand. Let the left hand reach for here, or you can reach for any position that your hand can find on your leg that's comfortable for you. Maybe it's the ankle, maybe it's the shin. And we're revolving open with that chest, keeping ourselves in that toaster oven position. One plane of existence here. And then bringing that right hand to the inside of that left foot. We're going to revolve our angle here, so we're going to reach up with that left arm. Right hand to the ground. One more breath, you can do it. Left hand to the outside of that left foot. So this time we're framing our foot. We are back in runner's lunge. So we're going to step back with that left foot. And we can either come to downward facing dog if we need a little bit of a break. Maybe we take child's pose here. Or maybe we shift forward into plank, lower through chaturanga. Sweeping up through upward dog or cobra. Flip the toes, downward facing dog. That is our first vinyasa, ladies and gentlemen. So you can choose to do that at any time, or you can do downward facing dog or child's pose, whatever you prefer. I'm feeling a little bit of heat myself, so we're gonna come into child's pose. This is our safety pose, or I need a break. So we're gonna hold on here just for one moment. Let ourselves relax. Nice deep breath here as we inhale, matching our breath, and really paying attention to our lungs as they inhale and exhale. Shifting back to our tabletop position, we're going to try the same thing on the other side. So coming back into our downward facing dog, we're going to shift forward into plank, and then we're going to step forward with that right foot this time. Left foot's in the back. We are going to drop that left knee down to the mat. Rising up, bringing our hands to our right knee, low lunge. If we're feeling comfortable and balanced here, we can tuck those left toes. Rising up into our high lunge. Maybe we bump that back foot forward just a little bit. Maybe we make it a high crescent lunge, reaching up with those hands. Then we're going to pivot that back left foot. And then checking in with our right toes, making sure we can see our toes in front of our knee. Square those hips up to the front. Really sink into that front thigh. Hands to heart center. Open up into warrior one. We're going to try that same sequence from the other side. So we're going to bring hands through heart center, opening up into warrior two. Flipping that front palm. Reaching up with the right arm. Left arm reaches for the back of the left thigh. Back through warrior two. Same sequence in reverse. Reaching up warrior one. And then we're going to try side angle here, so we can bring that right arm to the right thigh and reach up with that left arm, or maybe the right arm reaches for a comfortable spot on our right leg. Whatever you prefer to keep yourself in a nice straight line. Really revolve open with that chest. And then we're going to flip it. So we're going to take that left hand to the inside of that right foot. And then we're reaching up with that right arm. One more breath here. And bringing that hand to the inside of the right leg here. So we're back in our runner's lunge. So we're going to bring our right leg back, coming into plank. Lower through chaturanga. Sweeping up through upward dog or cobra. And flipping the toes. Downward facing dog. Maybe we take child's pose here just for a moment. One more breath. Coming back up through tabletop position, we're going to flip those toes back into downward facing dog. And then we're going to take our left hand to the outside of the right ankle, twisted downward facing dog. Hanging out here just for one moment, enjoying this inversion. We don't often get to see the world from this view, so look around. Bringing our left hand back to the mat, back to our downward facing dog. We're going to reach with the right hand to the left ankle this time. Twisted down dog. Back to our mat if we're done with our inversions for today. And then we're going to bring those feet up between the hands, forward fold. Inhale up like a rag doll, coming up into our mountain pose. So we're going to square ourselves up at the top of our mat, and we're going to try some balances. So bringing hands to heart center, feet about hips distance apart. Letting ourselves breathe just for a moment. The hard work is over. Nice deep breath. So we're going to try tree pose here. So we're going to tilt those right toes out towards the outer corner of our mat. Start to use them as a kickstand. Finding our drishti, our single still point to look at, to help us find our balance. Hopefully it's unmoving. And then we can start to bring that right leg to the inside of the left calf. Maybe it comes up higher to the thigh. We're just going to avoid placing that heel or the foot on the knee joint because it does tend to move side to side. So just finding the balance wherever you feel good. Maybe we make pretty branches here. Maybe we make cactus arms if you want to feel a little more open through that upper body, the shoulders, the chest. Reaching back up if we want to make pretty branches. Hands through to heart center. And then dropping that foot back to the earth. Maybe we need to shake it out a little bit. We're going to try the same thing on the other side. So however long it takes you to find your balance here, that's okay. And we're going to tilt those left toes out towards the outer corner of our mat. Start to use them as a kickstand. Inside of the calf. Finding that drishti. Maybe we don't come up any higher than this. Maybe we place that foot on the inside of the thigh. Maybe the hands stay here if our balance is a little bit different on this side, but that's okay. The body does tend to have some little imbalances in it after all. We are one side dominant. So finding whatever tree pose feels comfortable for you here. Maybe it looks a little different than the other side. Maybe we make funky branches to play with our balance. Hands through to heart center. And release. Shake it out a little bit if we need to. And holding still on both feet back to the earth this time. Really reflecting on our intention, building some quiet space here. Hopefully our heart rate is starting to slow down just a little bit. We're going to start our cool down procedure. So we're going to hold ourselves nice and still here, finding some breath, finding some balance. Inhale, circle sweep those arms up overhead. Extended mountain. Exhale to fold. This time we're going to place the fingers underneath the toes for gorilla pose. Almost as if we're standing on our palm. This is a pretty intense hamstring stretch, so if it feels a little intense to you, you can bend the knees just a little bit. Other than that, we can straighten out as much as we want, holding on here just for a moment. Nice deep breath. This should feel pretty good. One more breath here. Untuck the fingers from the toes. Ragdoll back to standing. And we're gonna step nice and wide with the feet. Our toes can point out towards the outer corners of our mat. We can inhale to circle sweep the arms up overhead, and as we exhale, we're gonna fold. And then we're gonna place the hands nice and square in front of our face. The wider those feet are, the easier this fold is going to be. We can start to experiment with our balance here, experiment with the stretch in our legs as we walk the hands off to the left side of the mat. Inhale back to center. Exhale, hands off to the right side. Maybe they find the shin or the ankle. Maybe they take a half bind, bringing that arm back behind, reaching for that thigh crease. Back to center, left side. Hands find the ankles or the shin. If we chose to take that bind on the other side, reaching up with that right arm, bringing the hand behind the back. Revolving open with the chest. Exhale, release, back to center. Walking those hands out in front of our faces just a little bit more. And hands go behind. Leaning into one leg. And then the other, almost making a ninja-like shape. Rocking side to side, feeling that stretch on the inner thigh. Only going as deep as we want to. And then once we're feeling comfortable here, coming up into a squat position, goddess pose. Pointing those toes out towards the outer corners of the mat. Only sinking as low as we want to. If we need to shift side to side, we can. Inhale up to standing, reaching up with those arms. Exhale, release. Back to our squat, cactus arms. Inhale, reaching up. Exhaling to squat. Maybe we interlace the fingers behind our backs, building some extra space in the chest. Inhale to rise. Release the hands if we chose to interlace them. And then we're going to toe heel our feet back together. Hands to heart center. And bow. Forward fold. Bringing our hands in front of our toes. Planting the hands, and we can vinyasa one last time. Coming into our plank, maybe we take modified plank here if we're a little tired. Keeping those elbows close to the body. Chaturanga. Upward dog or cobra. And downward facing dog. And then coming onto the knees. We're going to tuck our toes underneath here, just like this, sitting back onto our heels. Hands to heart center. This is Firewalker's pose. We're up on our feet a lot. Sometimes we can develop plantar fasciitis. This pose is designed to stretch out the sole of the foot. We only sink back as much as is comfortable. This is something we can do under our desks with our feet, just to kind of build a little bit of space in the soles of the foot, stretch it out just a little bit. The feet are often stressed in our bodies. Paying them a little extra mind today. Inhaling back up, and tuck those toes, coming onto our comfortable seat. Sitting in a nice straddle. And then we're going to fold off to either side and then the center. So we're going to bring our hand towards our ankle here, reaching up with that left hand. Revolving open with the chest. Feeling that length through the left side body as we reach for the right toes. Inhaling back through center, we're going to reach for that left ankle with the left hand, reaching up with the right arm. Revolving open with the chest. Going limp, letting go of any holding here. Deep breaths. Inhale back through center. Then we're going to lean forward just a little bit, only folding as much as is comfortable for us. If the back starts to round, we're going to hold here. So we're keeping our back as straight as we can. Maybe we, instead of reaching for the ankles, reach for the shins, go underneath the legs. We can reach for big toes. Whatever's comfortable for us here, we're gonna relax just for 2 breaths. Holding on to this hamstring stretch. One more breath. Sink a little deeper. Inhale back through center. So we're going to roll over our knees, coming onto our tabletop position. We're going to do a couple more cat-cows, really mobilizing through that spine. Dropping the belly low, sending hips up to the sky. Cow pose. Rounding the back for cat. We're holding these just a little bit longer than we did in the beginning. Again, going at your own pace. Whatever feels comfortable for you here. And then we're going to drop onto forearms here, keeping the same position with the legs, reaching forward, puppy pose. And tucking our toes underneath us, we're going to send the hips up to the sky for dolphin pose. So it's almost as if we're doing downward facing dog with our forearms on the mat. Maybe walk the feet a little bit closer to us, feel a more intense upper back stretch. One more breath here. Dropping to the knees. We're going to come onto the belly, setting up for locust pose. So we're going to bring our hands to our sides, face to the mat. Then we're going to use the strength of our back to let our arms and our legs hover. So we're not doing anything too intense or painful here. We're going to keep our gaze at the mat in front of us as we inhale, bringing those arms and legs up to a hover. Maybe we're balancing on our hip bones here. Exhale, release. We're going to try that one more time. Giving ourselves a moment to rest. And then inhale, hover those arms and legs. Arms up overhead. Exhale, release, letting ourselves relax just for a moment. If we want to take a child's pose here, we can. And then we're going to roll onto our backs. And then bringing the soles of the feet close into the hips, setting up for bridge pose. So we're keeping our hands right next to our hips here. And then we're going to tuck those shoulder blades in close to the spine, sending the hips up to the sky. If we have a prop or a block, or maybe even a pillow, you can set that under the hips here for a little bit more relaxation. Maybe we want to interlace fingers underneath the hips. That's okay too. Whatever bridge pose looks like for you, we're just making sure we're not moving that head or neck. One more minute here. Exhale, release. We're going to try that one more time, sending those hips up to the sky. Exhale, release. We're going to cross our left leg over our right knee just like this. We're making a figure 4 with our legs for supine pigeon. So we can stay here, or we can bring our hands behind this right knee, bringing that whole set in close to us. Maybe we let that right leg straighten and relax. One more breath. Maybe we rock side to side. Release that right leg back to the earth. Untuck the left leg. Trying the same thing on the other side. So we're going to cross our right leg over our left knee this time, making that figure four position. Maybe this hip flexibility is a little bit different, so maybe we stay here. Or we can bring that whole set closer to us, bringing our hands behind the left knee. We can keep it bent, or we can reach up with those left legs, and sending those toes to the sky as if we're putting our footprint on the ceiling. Rock side to side. That lower back massage. And then release. We're going to bring that left leg back to the mat, uncrossing our right leg. We're going to bring the soles of our feet together, opening the knees up to either side of the mat for bound angle. Letting ourselves relax here. Feeling the breath starting to slow down as we cool off. One more breath here. And bring the knees back together. We're going to bring both knees into the chest, crossing our arms over the top of our knees, our shins, rocking side to side, giving the lower back a nice massage. And then we're going to keep that left leg into the chest as we send our right leg down to the mat. And then using our right hand, sitting that left arm out into a T, we're going to take that left knee across the body. Maybe we set it off to the left side of our mat here, or we find a block or a pillow to place under the knee. And just enjoying this twist with our spine. Our gaze can be over our left fingertips. Gonna hold this pose 2 more breaths, really letting ourselves relax here. One more breath. And twisting ourselves ever so gentle. And then we're going to bring both knees into the chest, rock side to side. Keeping that right leg into the chest, we're going to send the left leg to the mat this time. Using our left hand to guide that right knee over to the left side of our mat. Right arm can come out into a T. Our gaze is over our right fingertips. And just bringing that twist as close to the ground as we can, keeping that right shoulder cemented to the mat. If we start to feel that shoulder blade pop up, we can come out of our twist just a little bit. Finding comfort here, 2 more breaths. Untwisting ourselves. We're setting up for our Shavasana now, so if there's any final poses you feel you need to do before we go into our relaxation, we're going to drop the hands off to the sides, legs can come down to the mat. And then we're just adjusting our shoulder blades, the hips, so that we're comfortable. Rock side to side if you need to, get those wiggles out. And then letting ourselves relax here, so we're going to sort of focus on each and every muscle in our forehead, our nose and cheeks, the jaw. We're holding any tension in the neck and shoulders, consciously choosing to let that go. Places where we hold anxiety and troubles, letting them soften. The shoulders, the biceps, the forearms and fingertips all feel still and warm and heavy. The chest rises and falls naturally with each and every breath. Feeling our chest and belly expand as we inhale and deflate as we exhale. Feeling the belly soften, the hips grow heavy, the thighs, the knee joints, and the calves all rest. The feet fall open to either side. Our fingers and toes are still. And now our physical body is relaxed. We're going to start to focus our minds on our intention, our goal for the beginning of our class today. If there was anything we felt we needed, bring that to the front of our minds. My hope for you is that you feel a little bit less stressed, happier, healthier, stronger, at the very least, tired from your workout. Whatever your goal may be, repeating it to ourselves gently, as if we're building a mantra. The things that we say to ourselves we bring into being. I am happy, I am healthy, I am strong. Whatever your intention may be, it will be with time. Feeling warmth and gratitude for ourselves for coming to our mat today. Feeling thankful for our bodies, for being so amazing, so flexible and strong. Allowing ourselves to feel relief, stillness, peace. Finding times for ourselves in this mat, this moment. Letting ourselves relax for one more minute. And rolling off to our favorite side, using our bicep as a pillow. And resting for one more minute, starting to wake up our bodies ever so gentle. Nice deep breath here, and as we exhale, we're ready, rising up to our comfortable seat. Crossing the legs, bringing hands to heart center and the eyes to close. I want to thank each and every one of you for being here with me today, maybe not in body, but in spirit. Thank you for allowing me to guide you. I'm so grateful for each and every one of you for bringing your practice to our very busy and very chaotic world today. I hope you find peace in your lives. I hope you stay healthy. Try to stay active. Namaste. I honor each and every one of you.